Welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to show you how to make these waterproof lined wet bags. They have a drawstring top and they're perfect for packing wet swimwear, etc. To make your own wet bag, you'll need one piece of fabric that measures 12 inches across by 24 inches long and two pieces that are 2 inches wide by 10 inches long. Now if you're using a directional fabric like this Spider-Man fabric, you're going to need two pieces that are 12 inches across by 12.5 inches long. That way we can make a seam allowance on the bottom. And you'll need a piece of a water-resistant vinyl type fabric like this that I'm using right here that also measures 12 inches across by 24 long. You'll also need some rope or cording for the drawstring and an iron. The first thing I'd like to do is take these short pieces and we're going to just take each end and you're going to fold it in 1/4 inch and then fold it over another 1/4 inch and press. When your pieces have been folded 1/4 inch and then folded again and pressed, take them to your sewing machine and then stitch them up. If you're using a directional fabric, you're going to put your two pieces right sides together and make sure that the design is going in the same direction, facing up or down, however you want it to look when you have your bag. And pin or clip the bottom together and then take that to your machine as well and do a 1/4 inch seam allowance across the bottom. I always like to open mine up and just double check and make sure that the design is going the right way so I don't have it upside down when I finish my bag. Because this fabric seems to be kind of one that will fray, I'm going to do a quick zigzag stitch across the bottom as well, just to help stop it from fraying. Next step is to take the two 10 by 2 pieces, fold them in half lengthwise, wrong sides together, and pin them raw edges against the top and bottom of the bag, centering them as you go. When you're done, take that to your machine and stitch. Now we're going to take your waterproof vinyl layer and you're going to lay it on top of your bag piece of fabric, right sides together. And you're going to pin or clip across the top and the bottom. And then you're going to take it to your machine and you're going to stitch all the way across the top and the bottom, leaving the sides open. Next, you want to take your bag and stretch it out so that it's stretched out right sides together, so the lining is facing the lining and the outer layer is facing the outer layer. Match up the middle seams, being very careful to make sure they match perfectly, and then pin or clip all the way down both sides. It is important to note that when you are going to take this and sew, you're going to leave about a 3-inch gap on one of the sides of the lining. This is important and necessary so that you can flip the bag right side out at the end. I'll show you how it looks a little later. So to make things easier, we're going to start by sewing up the lining side that is complete. So we're just going to stitch all the way through the lining, both layers of lining, then straight up over the middle seam and all the way to the other end of our outer fabric. And on this side, we're going to sew a seam up about 2 to 3 inches, and then we're going to stop and make sure that we backstitch so that we can leave an opening for flipping. You want to leave about a 3-inch opening. If it's too small, it'll be too hard to flip the fabric bag right side out. Once you're done sewing, go back and find the hole that you left in the lining and carefully reverse your bag right side out. When you've got your bag right side out, find the hole, tuck in the seams 1/4 inch, and stitch it up. And the final step is to top stitch around the top of the bag. So make sure that you tuck the lining deep down into your bag, smoothen it all out, make sure it's all nicely in there, and then do a nice top stitch all the way around the top, 1/4 inch from the top, just to make it look nice and reinforce it. Congratulations, you have your bag. The very last step is to add the drawstring cords. So let's go back to our table and do that. Wondering what size your finished products will be? These bags are measuring 11.5 wide by 12 inches long. Now it's time to add the drawstring cording or rope or whatever you have. I'm using this cording. You're going to take 2 pieces for each bag and you want them to be 21 inches long each. Carefully feed your cording through each channel on the front and the back of the bag. And finally, one last step. If you're using something like this kind of cording, it does fray. So you need to just singe the ends with a lighter just to melt it and ensure that it won't fray and come apart. Congratulations on making your waterproof drawstring wet bag. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial, and if you did, please consider subscribing. Thank you.